so everybody can see it again, or for people that are not here today, we can see again the video. So welcome. Okay, I'm Andrea. Mm, and of course, for GB, we have Andrew, Charlotte, and Francesco that you know, or now you can meet them. And we start the journey. It's an introduction to tonight. We have 3 meetings, so that's the first one. The objective is to explain the basic of the energetic agriculture, how we can use it. There are more than 50 techniques. We see some of the basic devices like Rakowski coils, spirals, pyramids, magnetic and electric, and other antennas. We talk about a little bit of geotherapy, the importance of the soil and the rocks. We see some history and contemporary scientific research and new point of view, what is not visible. There are a lot of things that we don't know, we don't understand, and it's an incredible war. And at the end, we have a question and answer session, and I try to be on time, like in Switzerland, not in Italy. Be careful. All right, so let me present myself. I'm independent researcher, very curious. I'm writing a lot of contents, so I'm an author and always known for innovation and vision, but I'm very practical. So everything I learn, I try to always to put in practice when I read something and I feel I want to follow a new wave. I want to see results. So for me, it's very important to see real results. You can download my bio on the website. There are a lot of ebook, including my little bio. About books, let's say that the most famous is the ElectroCulture patents. It's a translation from Justin Christoffel, that is a kind of father of the electroculture that lived 100 years ago. And we discover all the patents. I created again, I recreated all the patents with modern techniques and applying the patents. I was discovering that they are working even today. And that started my journey in the electroculture. Then I work a lot with Alana Moore. Probably somebody of you already met Alana in the workshop with Francesco, Marx, and Charlotte. I translate in Italian 3 books at the moment: Sensitive Permaculture, Energetic Rocks, and Stone Age Farming. And that's the book about the patents that's available in English as well, in German, Japanese, and Italian and Spanish. My first ebook, I think now it's available in English as well, was called My Horticulture in Electroculture. And I started to write it in 2018. And there I'm describing my approach and my property, where I don't use any chemical stuff. I use only natural solution. And that was a design mixed by permaculture and all the energetic parts since the beginning. And I started in 2012 this journey. You can find information on the website elettrocultura.ch and elettro-cultura.com. And there are many information, ebooks, etc. I'm started to share my experience, my knowledge in 2018. And then I started to work, especially in the permaculture, where I was teaching permaculture in Italy, but even all over Europe, in Switzerland, Germany. and maybe in England, who knows? Um, then I published a series of articles in Nexus Italy, Nexus Germany, and in other magazines that are mainly known in Italy. So for me, the objective is to produce the best energy food for the health, for human regeneration, to be more productive in a little space and self-sufficient, of course. And I had this idea, even Andy was explaining in a recent audio that we can create this kind of energetic island in our garden, in our farm, or in our places to regenerate the life, the nature, and ourselves. And this island can be more and more connected and creates special places for human evolution. In this journey, I met a lot of people, so I work to even to develop the talents of the people because human are very important in this journey. Human can make a big difference. That's the point. It's not only technology, technique, knowledge, but it's how we address our energy, the connection we have with the nature, the ability to work with nature. So again, I wrote a lot of articles you can find on the web, and I started also to support all the permaculture movement that was for the translation of the manual in Italian. I was supporting the project, and I did the same for the children. I was supporting the children in permaculture translation for Italian, and I was supporting the raise founding and teaching as well in the school. Again, that's my harvest, some of my harvest. I really want to see the finest geometry, the sacred geometry in the food. Everything is taste super healthy, a lot of flavors, vitamins, and that's incredible when you have such a biodiversity and you attract a lot of life. That's a big pleasure. We did TV series called The Spirit of the Trees. And so I ran 7 episodes, including the permaculture and the application of permaculture and electroculture. But this is in Italian, so you need to learn a little bit my language in case, but you can see from the video what we are doing here. And then we integrate our solution in all the projects because it's like a kind of new layer. It's the energetic layer that you can add on any kind of cultivation. So if you are organic, you can add the energetic parts. Even in permaculture, you can add the layer, or in biodynamics, or in no dig. So like you have seen in the mark farm, we can really add easily some simple technique, and we can increase the production and the quality especially. So what is electroculture? Okay, let's start from electroculture. Electroculture, it's a very simple definition. The vocabulary in Italy says that the application of electricity in agriculture to increase the production. It's very simple. But in reality, this is only for electroculture. This application should be divided in 2 types. We have one type that is what I teach, what also Yannick is doing. using free energy or energy available in nature. That's a way I prefer. The other way is to use continuous electricity or AC or DC electricity, and that's developed especially in America, in USA. They use this approach, and even in the past in UK, because they did a lot of experiments in England, and they were using this approach, not natural energy. The funny story about the word of electroculture, that's for Italy, is that the word start to appear in at the end of 900. Then he had a peak in 932, and slowly, all the story disappear. It's really funny. Now it's coming back seriously. Electroculture is not enough. We have all the magnetoculture that is very important. So we need to consider the geomagnetic field like a physical phenomenon that is natural. So if you take a compass, you see exactly the direction of north. It's like a flow. It's a flow that is moving from south to north. And this is very important because every device we put in place can distribute the energy, can channel the energy from north to south. That's very important. Sorry, from south to north. Made a mistake. All right. Then there are a lot of story about the geomagnetic field, etc. In the last 200 years, this is decreasing, so it's going down approximately 10%. But the most important thing is that plants that are living here since million in their evolution, they are very sensible to all the magnetic variation. And the magnetic field depends on sun, because when sun sending the lights through the photons, we have all the electromagnetic fields. That's to keep it simple. The plants are really sensible. They can respond immediately to everything is magnetic, everything is electric, and they have more than 12 senses instead of us that we have only 5. The energetic agriculture is something more, let's say, holistic, and that's why I prefer to use this word, energetic farming or energetic agriculture. And this includes the electroculture, of course, but not only. It's a combination of principle like in permaculture design or biodynamics, but especially we add all the geobiology parts, the energy of the earth, the sky, the energy of the water underground, all these kind of energy that are impacting a lot the life. We include some Radhiestesia application because some cases we need to investigate. It's mainly an investigation approach. We can use some radionics, we can use some free energy stuff, etc. But at the end, it's very important again to stay focused on results. What is the effect? We have more production, we have a better quality, we have more resilience. Okay, but it's a combination of all this knowledge, and that's why I created the academy based on this topic. And these solutions are growing a lot, very fast, because I started after 6 years of experimentation. I started the know-how sharing, the project implementation, and nowadays we have more than 5,500 hectares with 550 farms in Italy and Europe. And we have more than 1,200 private projects like Andrew projects. Mark is in the farm, let's say, is in the farm range. That's the academy we had starting from 2022, and all our journey with for every topic we have examination, we have the test, and at the end you need to present project. You need to present the project, and we validate the project in the final session like a thesis. So everybody is aware, it's able to teach, able to share the knowledge and to make design, but I'm supervising all my students. Apart the energetic agriculture, we had a lot of requests from customer, especially customer that they have a holistic center or they do hospitality, they organize meeting. So we have created a team that is mainly based with the architects, and they do checkup of the houses, and they do electrosmog analysis, they do quality of the air, quality of the water analysis, gas, radon, radioactivity, all this. That is very important for inside geobiology analysis and feng shui as well. And we work all together, especially to create the best place for living creators. So the energy farming approach, it's based always on soil and water analysis, and also the reaction they have. That's very important, especially if you have a farm, and that's an approach we can use even for quite big properties for private. Then we interview the farmer. We want to understand the state of the art, what are the challenges, what are the expectation, objective, and we want to understand as well flora, fauna, the ecosystem, and we do chemical, physical, and energetic analysis. And for every project, we design a customized solution that is always different because there are no human and places equal. So it's always customized, and that's resonate with Mother Nature to respect the and to recreate the primordial energy that humankind has transformed or destroyed this year. So at the end, we have these 50 approaches. You have seen some are very simple, like spirals. Spirals work like antenna, like insect antenna, like very easy antenna. They capture the energy, and we can channel the energy in a simple pot inside a glass of water. It's a tool that you can play in house. It's funny. Then you can use it to make a big antenna and go up. More you go up, more energy you bring down. Or you can start even with the Lakosky coil. Lakosky ring are very easy to make, made in copper. Better if they are combined with a couple of metals like aluminum or combination of plus and minus metals. And you can use it for plants, you can use it for animals, you can use it to change the quality of energetic food, drinks, etc. You can even use it to charge the seeds. Like we did recently, I released a thesis from the University of Zurich, and we showcase the results of the comparison with pyramids, copper pyramids, and the Lakosky rings, and the control. I will talk about it next time so you can understand better. Copper pyramids are very powerful, so easy, simple. You can charge the seeds, you can increase the germinability, you can increase the resilience of the plants, and you can improve even the quality only with a charge of seeds in a copper pyramid. Very easy, very fast, and super efficient technique. You can charge also medicines, medicaments, backflowers, or homeopathic solution that they will be more powerful. Then we have the geotherapy topic. That's very easy because we use rocks to remineralize the soil, especially paramagnetic rocks, but also not only basalt, we use also other rocks like dolomite or quartz, stimulate the energetic field in the soil, increase the conductivity, and these paramagnetic rocks stimulates the growth of fungi, mycorrhizae, and effective microorganisms. And this started the regeneration of the soil very, very fast. At that stage, we can add the electroculture with a lot of improvement. Like I said at the beginning, the magnetic field is influencing a lot the plants. So another easy technique is to add a magnetic antenna. It's a set of magnets, ferrite mag, that is inside cable, like 3 millimeter cable that can run even 300, 400 meters, and it will affect the soil, especially when it's oriented south-north. Then we have the antennas, like lighting rods or sky earth antenna, or the telluric fertilizer devices that are going underground, and they use very similar principle, but they use telluric energies mainly, not sky energy, but earth energy. Finally, the menhirs, like I call menhirs because that's the Stone Age technology, let's say, or acupuncture of the earth, of the soil. They are monoliths, but we can make it like Irish Tower or energy towers with ceramics or with a pot in terracotta. And we can use again the rocks, especially paramagnetic rocks. They create a big energetic field, and it's important to know geobiology for this installation. So this is a very short list overview. You can see here some of the solutions. So from top left, we have the antenna. Here we have the cones that are used to create a perfect shape that is in sacred geometry pattern. We have the pyramids, not only pyramids in copper, but we use also bronze, like the bell. And these are sonic pyramid that can transform the quality and the taste of wine, beer, anything is fluid, it's liquid, can change the taste and the flowers in 30 seconds. So that's part of the showcase we do when we do the trial, the tasting of wine, for instance. It's incredible. Sommelier chefs are really astonished when we do this. And on the top right, we have the Lakowski coil made with electric cable. Bottom right, we have the pipes, ceramic pipes to create the menhirs, little tower, little menhirs, or like in this central part, we have the kit for the pyramids because pyramid can scale. You can make a pyramid for human, or you can make a pyramid for big bag seed charging when you do hectares of wheat or sunflowers, hemp. We charge big bag with big pyramids, 3-4 meter size. And finally, bottom left, we have the telluric fertilizer or crocodile, like I call crocodile. It's a device that goes underground, and we had one version also in the installation that was done recently. A little tips, what there's behind. One of the principle is always to create the battery effect. So the majority of the devices that we use are a combination of copper and zinc, or copper and iron, copper and aluminum. So plus and minus metal in terms of standard millivolt potential. That's very important. Like when you create a kind of transformer, we have the core that is iron, and then we have the copper that is turning around. and more turn you make, different electricity will come out. So that's a very important principle. We need plus and minus. We need plus and minus in the antenna, plus and minus in the telluric energy, in the menhirs. We have paramagnetic rocks and diamagnetic rock like quartz, and the same in the soil. So that's a principle that is always very important to keep in consideration. Then what's happened when you apply the technique correctly? You have everything very big. Everything is growing like in the past. I can say that's the primordial energy. And in my garden, I have sage 16 by 6 centimeter. I have this dandelion leaf 54, 55 centimeter, where outside is only 23, 25 normal. We can easily do 3 potato harvest. In my place, it's 1,000 meter in the mountain. It's very, very cold. I have snow between December till April. And this is a customer making exactly the same that is in Tuscany, is in Pistoia. It's making very big 3 harvest potato in the polytunnel, and is making a lot of vegetable. It's a guy cultivating veg for 40 years, but he has never seen this result in his entire life. So the energetic parts is really making a big change. Or if you are strong like Richard, that is one of our showmen, always making new records, you can have 3.3 kilos onion or 1.4 kilos tomato and more, because Richard every year is beating new records. It's fun to see always this results is incredible. Everything is scientifically explained. So there are a lot of documents, 100,000 of documents, and agronomist knows very well. For instance, this is a Scienze Horticulturale documents from Dennis Darnell, that is a German agronomist, explaining that there are more than 100 tests done very recently on different cultivars, plants, horticulture, vegetables, and this is clearly shown that you can increase vitality, grow production with the magnetic field, with the electric field. You can increase resilience, reduction to zero treatment and fertilization. You can increase the quantity of nutrition and the energetic value, and there are no negative effects. So the conclusion, it's very simple. And then if you go deeper and deeper, you discover a lot of funny things, like they have done tests for strawberry. So you have 4 plants with electric wires and electric test, 4 plants with magnetic field, and 4 like a control. And at the end of the experiment, the EMF were significantly increased in weight, in average of size of fruits, more fruits, and also they had a lot of nutrients in the fruits and in the leaf. And that was an example of one of these tests made in Scandinavia. Or energizing the mice seeds, and there are many techniques to do it. They increased by 20-30% the production, and the plant was growing faster, and they had a really bigger harvest. Only with one technique, you can imagine, you increase by 20-30%. Of course, it's not always like this, because every cultivar is different. What we notice, we have made a lot of trials, experiments, that every cultivar is different, and especially ancient seeds are ready to respond. They have a memory, the primordial memory, and they respond to the magnetic field stimulation. But genetically modified seeds are not working like that. We have made some trial, and they are not responding, or they are responding with some changement. So in my experience, I only use ancient seed. I only use organic seeds. I stopped to make even trials because it was just for fun at the beginning to see if I was able to to find a transformation or something better, but it's not the case. So it's always good to work with plants that they have a memory and they can respond to what is natural, what is a magnetic field coming from the sun. That's another thesis in USA made testing 1,800 beans, a part in the copper pyramid, a part in the wood pyramid, and the control. And the result, it's very fun again. So the copper pyramid is more powerful, more efficient. It creates electric magnetic field. The copper pyramid, so is better than the wood. The wood is working, according to us, it's approximately 40% less powerful. And beans in this condition with charging, they grow faster, they grow bigger, they grow higher, and they are higher in weight. And the comparison was showing a big gap between 20 and 100% of difference against the control. So it's a really big gap. You can imagine what we can do when we apply multiple techniques. Electroculture is a topic that is in the field since over 160 years. There have been more than 600 scientists, not common people, scientists, professors, doctors, people that they have shared documentation, research, they have shared a lot of experience, and it's all over the world. Okay, in France they had a lot, in Belgium, and in Germany, United States, Finland, GB. There are many over there. Lujan, Lodge, Mambray, Newman, Olivier. So it could be fun to discover again the history in your country. Hungary, Italy, Russia, Czech, so many countries, they have explored this area. There were even a council every year to share the knowledge. This is a book you can find. It's in English. It's the experience of the Professor Lemstrom. He was an agronomist teaching in Sweden, in Stockholm. And he discovered through the observation that after an aurora borealis, like we have here, and Andrew, after the aurora borealis, the plants were growing like crazy, even 10, 20 centimeter in one day or in 2 days. So he was really impacted by this story, and he decided to create a machine that you can see in the bottom right, and energizing the field with this stuff underground. So he planted many vegetables, and he creates all the comparison and control test. And he did a lot of experiments that are described in this book that is available for free on Rex Search. If you look for Professor Lemstrom, agriculture, electricity in agriculture and horticulture. So the results, it's summarized here in this tab. You can see white beets plus 107%, potatoes plus 76, red beets plus 65%. So a lot of very good results, but even bad, carrots -5, turnip, cabbage -5, cabbage -43. So here the lesson is that, like I say, every plant is different, so they have different response. That's important to understand what is the response of our plants. But again, this is a human electricity. When we use natural electricity, we are more in harmony. We don't have, I mean, the nature recognize the frequency, we recognize the rhythm of the sun, the rhythm of the earth, and it's easy for us to have even better and better results. And again, I don't want to depend on utilities. If tomorrow they want to change the price of the electricity, I want to be free. What I do, it's free. I don't need to pay any bill, and it's forever. Then I did a lot of research in my country, and I discovered a lot of studies. I have many old books, and they did a lot of experiments. Italy was specialized in electrobiology and in all the opportunity to accelerate the hybridation to create new species with a magnetic field and electrical field. And these new species were more productive, more strong, and with better also nutrition factor. So we had a lot of experience in this field for many years that still now we have special wheats or grapes that have been made 100 years ago, and they are so strong, they are so resilient, they don't get sick even now. Then we have Christophe Law. Christophe Law, it's the father of the industrial electroculture. He was born in France, near to Paris, in 1865, and he lived till 1938. The beginning was working for his family, that they had a bakery, so he created a lot of patents in the bakery field, in the patisserie also. And then when he was 50, 55, he started to create new patents for electroculture. And he created and recorded, registered 16 patents of electroculture. And you can imagine he was selling in the first 5 years 150,000 antennas all over the world. And at the end of the careers, 350,000 devices all over the world. So he was a big guy pushing the electroculture, pushing the effect of the energetic parts. The majority of the things that we have learned are coming from his patents, from this antenna, but even the others. I usually do a lesson of a couple of hours about his patents and history. And these are pictures of 1923 with a cabbage of a circumference 3.5 meters. Really huge, really big. No Photoshop in 1923, and now it's 100 years after. We have again Richard exactly making the same, and we have other customer like Antonella, the spinach leaf with this, with only the antennas, or even bigger. In this case, we have charged the seeds with pyramids. We got the rocks in the soil, and we got the magnetic antenna below. In Marketplace, we have more. We have the towers, we have the crocodiles, so maybe the water. And again, everything grows really like crazy. Big sunflowers over 5 meters, and Richard has won for 4 times the record in the country, starting with 55, 58, 60, 62. Every year is bigger and bigger. And it's not only bigger, it's the quality, it's the strongness, the resilience of the plants, the power of the plants. And everything is applicable to any solution, to any kind of contest, because here we are in a vineyard, for instance, in Puglia, in the first harvest, the first year, they had more uniform cluster, they had more production, they reduced by half the treatment, and they had the better alcohol grade that is is very important because they've been paid by alcohol grade measurement. They had a bonus. And that was one of the first projects I did in 2018. So when we combine the cosmic energy from the sun, we combine the energy of the earth, we work with the right seeds, we can work with the plants, we can work with the water. And there is a big topic around water, structural water, energetic water. We work in harmony with the ecosystem. And we have humans that are connected, they are conscious of this power. We have really explosive results, and we have these amazing results. So what we can do? Okay, we need to improve. We are in a season, we are in a era where we need to give to the earth, we need to give to the soil, we need to give to the plants something that for years we have taken, we need to bring back. So we need to start from the soil. Well, quality of the soil is so important. Geotherapy, effective microorganisms, all in the biodynamics approach, fermented herbs, tea, agroecology, all this approach, but with rocks, effective microorganism and energy boost a lot the soil regeneration. And after 3 to 5 years, we have an autonomous system that it doesn't depend from us. We don't need any more input. We can insert the antennas, channeling the energy near to the structure, below the ground, underground, or to grow tomatoes, etc. We can use the telluric energies. We can harmonize the climate with the acupuncture. That's so important because the towers are not only emitting energy and fertilizing, and they go in resonance with the rocks in the soil, but they create some energetic field to create harmony and better weather and the stronger plants. We can work with the music. We use a lot the music. We can work with the water. The water is super, super important. And we can harmonize all the geobiology part. We can put stones, crystals. It's very interesting also this part. And then when we add the energy, we speed up all the processes, the life increase, the resilience increase. And we can use really many techniques, like even the shape power. And again, biodiversity, rotation, respect of the nature, human knowledge, human connection. And at the end, we will have higher production. We have a reduction of treatment step by step till zero, reduction of fertilization till zero, and soil regeneration very fast, and quality, super quality, nutrition factor, and superfood because you need less. It's so powerful. You make an installation that is forever. You don't need to make a continuous upgrade. It's forever. And then at the beginning was on just a garden, a small stuff. Now we have really huge installation in every field, in every kind of uh, growing stuff, vineyards, bamboo, truffles, orchards, vegetables, but even a lot of animals or multi type of farms. Again, there is a part of things that we don't see. We know only a little part. We understand a little part. There are a lot of things that are invisible, like was saying Harry Oldfield. But with some technique, like the photonic filter or the polycontrast interference photography, we can see now. This is only one simple technique showing the energetic field of the tree, showing the energetic field of the dolmen, the stones, this kind of granite stones, they reflect, they transfer the energy, the light, and there he was very good in showing that. It was very cool. After Kirlian, he did this kind of evolution, and we can see the light in the columns. This is a basalt structure, like towers in Sardinia, and we can see exactly when people come inside, they go in resonance, and the light is crossing the body, is touching, crossing, and is creating effect. We can even measure the energy life of the people inside, outside, and this is a magnetoculture. Or we can see the energy movement, not only the quality of the colors that are expressing the quality of the energy, but we can see the form of the lights. We can see how the energy is moving, coming in, coming out. That's why we prefer always to have at least 2 towers coming in, coming out. Or sometimes we can see something that is in another dimension. I took this picture inside the Nuraghe structure, and I find out when I was coming back in the ferries, I had a face in my picture. Okay, ciao. Okay, so finally the invisible is visible, or we can feel it. We can, if you are sensible, you can douse. But there are a lot of things that we don't see, and it's very cool because this face it represent even the mask of the traditional carnival in Sardinia. So somebody was seeing and was making the face with this exactly shape. We can see the energy in the food. We can do the sensitive crystallization, and we can compare organic on the right and with synthesis with chemical on the left. Different grades of enlargement. What is organic? It's with a geometric path, with a pattern that is simple. It's like nature with continuity, with perfect structure. What is touched by synthetic chemicals is broken. There are black holes. So if you hit this food, is not going in resonance with our structure because we have a geometrical pattern in the cellular, in every elements we have in our body, and we are low of energy. So what we create with organic food, biodynamic, energetic food, is a superfood that is immediately received in our body. And that's another way to see the food. So that's why we started also to give value to our customer, showing the energetic parts, not only chemical, physical content of polyphenols or vitamins, minerals that are higher and higher, but especially giving the opportunity to show the energetic parts. So now we are in a process to certify all the products, and these products are really, really superior. They have more vitamins, polyphenols, sometimes even 5 times more than the best organic. They have minerals, antioxidant, everything we need to live, everything we need to extend our life. There is more chlorophyll in the leaf, so there is more light. We can show there is more light. And what we eat is even the light, not only the elements, we need energy. So it's really a new way. We need to explain. Sometimes it's really disrupting because it's so new. But when you see, you feel it. It's important to go back and feel it. I want to educate people to understand the taste, to understand the smell, to understand the feeling. That's how you feel. It's coming back, earthing, connecting, and do your evaluation. So we have a lot of technique that are described in our approaches. This is the future, and probably maybe soon we have some production with the same level in your country. And so now we started with coffee. It's a coffee made from Honduras in ElectroCulture. And then we have a special charge before toasting, after toasting. It's a really, really incredible coffee. You never try this coffee, but now you can try Rio Cafe. We have the wine, no chemical, no zero chemical, zero treatment. Really, wine is incredible. Red Cabernet or Solaris. We have the plants in the middle of the rows between one yard and the other. There are a lot of aromatic plants, a lot of biodiversity. It's not monoculture. It's polyculture, a lot of straw. It's to create the soil, geotherapy, manure, the Z antennas, and zero chemical in the wine. We do cereals. We do cereals and we do pasta. Of course, we are in Italy, so we want to create the best pasta with the energetic level. All right, so I think I'm okay. It's the first round. It's gone. We have a question and answer. You can open the mic or you can read. Francesco, Andrew, some question because I was focused on the delivery of the presentation. Any question? All right, no question. Everybody.
No one put out any question in the chat.
Lots.
No, come on. Let's have some interaction. It's not only myself speaking. Hi, Joe. What do you want to know?
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
Thank you so much for your time, by the way. That was really fascinating. So I've got a few questions, but I don't want to take up too much time. Is there a minimum amount of the components that you need to have a setup? I've got a small garden and I've got mainly pots and just at the moment just one raised bed. So would I need to have all the antennae and everything, or could I start with fewer components? What do you recommend?
Okay, so for garden like yours, you can start adding the rocks in the pot. Very simple. The rocks in the raised bed, in the bed next to the plants in the soil. You can add the Lakowski coil. You can add some little spiral in the pot, or some magnetic antenna if you have a line south-north, and some towers. We start with this, eventually adding some I call crystal box. It's a device that energize the water when you water in the summer because if you water if you don't, not necessary, because we can add energy into the water, adding microorganism, the effective microorganism. So I start from the soil, then add some device in the pot or in the single plants in the garden. And if you have a raised bed, we can put a magnetic antenna and a tower. And then you practice using pyramids for seed charging. So if you start from seeds, you can charge the seeds in advance, or you can use even the pyramid to charge your sprout. If you make your sprout for food, you can have a superfood with a powerful charge inside with the pyramid, and then you make a fantastic sprout, soya bean sprout or whatever you like. I suggest you try.
Okay, thank you. Just one more quick question. So I'm actually disputing something at the moment. So I have a complaint with the media company at the moment. They've put cables over my house and all along above my garden.
All
I
right.
think they're fiber media cables, or for somebody's broadband. I have to wait months for them to remove them because they shouldn't be there. Will that interfere with anything?
Usually electromagnetic field, if it is human created, is interfering. So you can measure, you can make a measurement. There are some easy apps that you can install in your mobile phone, like EMF detector, for instance, very basic tool, but you can understand with EMF detector, even going around your house. You start the microwave and you see out of scale, red, beep, 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 it's dangerous, and you can check outside. Otherwise, we have professional devices, and then we can add devices to harmonize, to discharge this energy, or even to protect. You can create a barrier to protect, especially where you sleep, where you stay more time. You need to be safe. It's important. Or if you have an home office and you get the radiation inside through the window, because the waves cross the window, you need a protection, or even a suite.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Good.
There's
Ask, it make a difference if it's pot or plastic pot?
Okay, so terracotta pots, they have a better connection to the ground. So we can emphasize the grounding, like in nature, more or less, even if they are in pots. Plastic pots, they are insulated. And we know how important is the grounding. We can do a simple electric test with the shoes in plastic. We are isolated. Without, we do grounding, earthing. The same is with the plants. So they can grow. They do miracles. They grow in conditions that we create that are not natural. They are really incredible, but in terracotta pots, they can make a better connection to the ground instead of plastic.
Okay.
Yeah, please. For Joe, I have made some interview with Alana Moore. You find there are some video in my channel about electrosensibility, electrosmog. So I suggest you can go in my YouTube channel and see there is a section for Alana. There are interviews explaining this that is nowadays is growing a lot. And there are a lot of people that are electrosensible. They don't know. When you have headache, stomachache, vomit, all symptoms that you are in electrosmog pressure, and I suggest you can make investigation. And Francesco can supply some solution. We can help you to feel better and create the right condition, not only to survive, to be stronger.
They are asking Andrea what is the difference in the southern hemisphere.
No difference. The magnetic field is always south-north. You take the compass, it doesn't change. And the energy is exactly flowing in this way, like a river from the mountain to the sea. I never seen the opposite till now. But maybe one day we have the polar inversion. We change. We move the tower from south to north and the antenna as well. But the rocks
Same.
are always working on the ground.
Not many people are putting out questions. They are not
There's a
interested
question
only.
about the pyramids. Okay, so
Yeah.
yes, they have certain angles. So we use essentially three kind of pyramids. We use Cheops pyramids, like in Giza in Egypt. And this is connected to the PGREC elements. And then we have Nubian pyramid in the north of Sudan, and this is connected to Phi number. And then we have Russian pyramid created by the Russian engineering Golod. So there are very different kind, but they works very well. We use a lot Cheops and Nubian for agriculture, but even for people for treatment in holistic center. Anche le parrucchiere in Italia fanno le piramidi.
Hairdressers, they use it. They wash your hair under the pyramids, so your hair is.
I show you some picture maybe next days. Yeah, then Lacoste coil, they can be crossed, but the extreme part should not touch between them, or they can be open north direction. It works around the plants. They say this is the plants. The ring is going around the plants. We have all the explanation in our ebooks, in our kit, or some tutorial can be found, or during the workshop we explain all this technique. Stephanie, is it necessary to use? Okay, from my experience, I test the soil and I create the mix and the recipes to make the transformation. It's not only the rocks, it's important to add organic matter, to add life, worms, effective microorganisms. So the rocks are very important, but always we need to combine compost, organic matter, and effective micro, or similar, like in the agrohomeopathic approach, where we need to combine more things. And adding the energy, it's so cool because you have a faster response from the environment. Can you charge compost? Yes, of course, you can charge. I have my compost pile is inside a galvanized wire with an antenna, for instance. Then I put some rocks even inside the compost. This increase the fermentation. Or I add compost below pyramids. You can make even wood pyramids on top of the compost pile. And this will increase the energy of the compost and shorten even the fermentation process. Every fermentation can be influenced by this energy. So even when we do pasta, I work with a lot of chefs. They do even pizza with fermentation below the pyramids. They use structural water, and this is changing a lot. The fermentation, the flavors. It's light for the digestion. So there are other questions. In my website there are many things. So you can find a lot of free ebooks, connection for the podcast, video on YouTube, and then we have Francesco, Andrew, Charlotte that now are developing the people and the knowledge in Great Britain. And then we have other true meeting. We will do more to share the knowledge. Okay. Right. How do the Lakoski coil work? Do they need to be buried? Okay, Andrew already replied. They work around. They can be even below the plants, but typically I put the coil on the trunk or at the base or even on a branches, you can try. And we had, in some cases, we had really miracle because we had plants that were not making any flowers and fruits for years, and only with this coil they started again to make flowers and fruits after years and years. So it's very nice because with a simple device you can bring back the life. What about aluminium in the tools? Do not contaminate the soil. Keep in mind that aluminium is always available naturally in the soil, like copper and all the other heavy metals in nature. They are available. We use a thick part of aluminium, and really, really thick. And it's not a problem. It's so really minimum quantity, like probably in a copper cable that is 1 gram, 2 grams, there are 0.01 gram of aluminium. Really nothing. The problem is the aluminium that is coming from the sky. That's why we need the living soil. That's very, very important. Again, work with the soil, create the living soil, because the living soil is able to digest everything, including aluminium, barium. The microorganisms, the microbes and the plants, they can digest it, they can transform it, and that's it. We need to work with the soil to manage also the rain that are not so clean like 100 or 200 years ago.
There is an interesting question, Andrea, are there affordable solutions for big project crops available to install this system? I think is electroculture is affordable compared to traditional farming, obviously.
Absolutely affordable. Like I was saying, it's permanent because what you put in the soil, it's for when you have finished the transformation, it's for 100, 150 years. If you don't destroy again the life in the soil, it's forever. So I have 550 customer in 5 years. You can imagine they have I have customer even with 120 hectares, and that's mainly cereals, olive plantation, vineyard, vegetables and fruits. They have multiple activity in the farm, including animals, etc. So it's absolutely affordable. It pays. You have more production, you have more quality, you have a better environment, and especially when you live there. If you live there, it's very good for you. You live in another level of energy. The frequency of the place, the water, the plants, the animals, whatever living there, it's higher. You are more in health. And of course, we need to see case by case. Huh? Yes, of course, I've done projects on orchards, apple, pears, vineyards, olive oil, kiwi. I have a lot of projects in my background. What kind of orchards, Gavin? What is the size? What is the kind of fruits you have in the orchards? Can you give us more details? You can open the mic or you can reply on the chat.
Yeah, hi Andrea. Can you hear me?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I was just wondering, mixed orchards, food forests, that sort of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. We have a lot of orchard. I will show you next time some example. We have a lot of orchard. with polyculture, with biodynamic farms, permaculture farms, and even traditional organic farms. I don't work with standard farms, on minimum organic. And then we make the transformation, like I was explaining, starting from the soil, adding the energy, and working with the water, expanding the biodiversity, introduction of rotation, flowers, cereals, and nitrogen fixer. So we can do a lot of things combining the techniques in. So I don't know what is the size of the place or the project.
No, I was just wondering because on my mother's place in South Africa, we've got some macadamia nut trees, and I was hoping to maybe plant a couple more of them and do a small project there as well.
Okay, okay. Never try on this cultivar because it's typical from your let's say climate. But we had pistachio, we had amandas in the south of Italy. We do a lot of even tropical plants. And if you start from scratch, you can see immediately a big difference, because you can work on existing places, but when you start from scratch, like for instance, when you make a new project from scratch, you see really a big acceleration. And again, the soil is basic, but it's so important. The water, so important, and the energy on the plants, etc.
Brilliant. Thanks, Andrea. I've got a wormery in my garage. Is there anything that I can do to help the worms and like earth them or get them growing, get the stuff from them, just better quality?
Yeah, you can add the stones, the paramagnetic stone. You can add a pyramid on top or a Koski coil around, and you can spray some charged water. All these are techniques that we can use in general, even with animals. If we prepare energetic food, energetic water, right environment, with these three things, water, food, environment, we can really change completely the frequency, the energy. And that's for plants, like for human, like for animals. It's always the same. You can apply techniques, you can try, and Francesco, Andrew can give you some advice or tools. And you see, maybe you can create even comparison. Half, you split in half, and you do the energetic cultivation and the control at the beginning. Then when you understand, no way, only energetic.
Andrea,
Yes.
there's a question higher up in the chat from Mark Richards asking, have you had any opposition from governments, etc.?
Normally, government is calling me because they want to have a consultation, but I refuse. I don't have any fight. I'm working only with biodynamics, permaculture, and organic. I don't have any opposition. They have called me a couple of times to work, but I was explaining that I don't feel comfortable with them because always there are conflict of interest. And I prefer to spend my time with people that are conscious, that they want to change the approach, they want to respect the nature. And my time is for people that want to really make a transformation. I don't want to stay in politics stuff or grants, funds, etc. It's not my frequency. It's, like when even multinational call me to make projects, I refused. It's not. I leave a multinational to work to emphasize the human-centric approach and natural connection. I believe there are positive things, but not in that approach. My answer is no. No, I don't have any problem. But then at the moment, I'm working. I had some good relation with the mayor of my village, and I did the forest therapy trail, showing the energy of the trees. We involved also the council of the energetic part to measure the terpene emission of the trees in the forest. That was aligned with my measurement. That was very, very good. But that's a rare case. The mayor of my village, she were a shamanic lady, and now she's the mayor of my village. So it's a real exception probably in the country. Maybe something can change. I mean, not so open at the moment. I prefer to work with private people.
Andrea?
Yes?
We have a question. Francesco's just answered the water question at the bottom regarding what can we do to tap water. Obviously, we can.
Well, for tap water, yeah, there are many techniques. Again, it should be important to make an analysis to understand the starting points. We can change the energetic part very easily, but the chemical parts, for the chemical, you need the filters, you need physical devices. So if you have too much chlorine, or if you have antibiotics inside, so you need to filter with physical stuff. If you have bacteria, there are systems with copper, gold, and silver that cleans this part. So the best is to make the analysis and understanding what could be the solution. It's important to drink the right water. Very, very important. And then you can energize the water in multiple ways. There are many ways. The trick is very simple, super efficient. You can try. You can add some rocks. You can add, like in the aquarium. The aquarium, the filter is made of rock. You can use basalt, quartz, dolomite, shungite. There are many techniques. Normally I do a course on water that is a couple of hours. It's a basic one. Then I have other lessons on water, like other 5, 6 lessons. That's an introduction. It's an overview. We have another couple of meetings next time. Would be around results, business cases. So small, medium, large. So you can understand, you can see what can be achieved. And finally, we have another lesson, how to give you some advice. And maybe we can speak about the project that has been done in your country. You have, Andy, you have a pilot project. Mark has the first project in farm. So we can share a little bit if you want, if even Mark wants. Or I can speak about other situation, no problem. I'm full of topic to touch. And even now we passed the hour and 1 hour and 20 minutes extra. Fine, we are recording, so it's cool. Recording will be shared in a couple of days because my line is very poor now. And we see next week. For any question, contact Francesco, Andrew, Charlotte. We are in touch. So please work with your local peers or using the chat, using the WhatsApp, Telegram group. We share information, idea, question. And the subject is very big, but this is just the appetizer.
Andrea, can I speak?
Yeah, sure, Andrew. You're welcome.
I just want to say that thank you very much, everybody. Obviously, this is such a big and powerful topic. We need to get our heads around it in the UK, and we're the first people to try and do that. So let's go for it. To communicate with us, we use the Telegram group as a news channel. So anybody who's not in that Telegram group, I would love to help you get in that Telegram group. We'll share that with the email when we send an email around with the recording, or we can make sure that you receive the link. Secondly, there's a WhatsApp group now for communication. So it's a social communication. There's more than 40 people in that now, which is only 2 days old. So again, we'll ask you to get into that group wherever possible. And we'd ask all of you to share it with everyone else to help us achieve that, if you don't mind. If you know somebody in that Telegram group, please help them. And likewise with the WhatsApp group. So we can start to build that space for you to communicate with us instantly.
This is what I was supposed to be seeing.
Sound good?
Yeah, very good. Thank you, Andy.
Yeah,
Yeah, we have a next meeting next week. So see you next week. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Ciao.
Bye, everyone. Good night, and thank you for participating. Thanks, guys.
Ciao, ciao. Grazie.
Ciao, Andrea. Buonanotte.
Ciao, buonanotte.
Bye, everybody.
Ciao, grazie, Andrea.
Grazie a voi. Pleasure.